Everybody knows I like to put a little spin on my makes, things that I sew. So today we're going to be talking about pattern hacking. If this is something you're interested in, please stay tuned. Well, guys, thank you for joining me today. My name is Holly. This is Hollywood Wear. For all of you that are new, thank you for coming by. For those of you who are our returning subscriber, thank you for coming on back. Here, you know, I am a sewist. I am a fashion enthusiast. And so you'll see all kinds of things here. You'll see pattern hauls and fabric hauls, things that I've made with things that I've bought, always on a budget, always fashion related. Maybe I'll throw in a bag review here and there, maybe a shoe review, but it's always a good time. So if you like the content, please put a thumbs up. If you are not a subscriber, I invite you to please subscribe below. Put on that notification bell because I make weekly videos and we want you to come on back, okay? So today, you know, whenever I am making something, everybody knows I am the queen of hacking stuff. I will hack something in a minute. I look at pattern instructions, but I don't always follow them. I kind of like cooking. I will take a little bit from here, a little bit from here, and put it together and make something amazing, okay? And so I do the same with patterns. And so that will bring me to my outfit of the day. So today, I have on one of the patterns that I actually am going to be bringing out today. It is something that I made and that I actually hacked. And so this is the pattern McCalls M8003. So it was the cutout shirt pattern. It had also a bodysuit. So I actually made this one. I made it into A. Okay, and I hacked the sleeves a little bit. So I'm going to show you some pictures of the shirt all the way so that you can see it. Okay, so I actually used the sleeves from Simplicity's 8506. So they have a great thing with Simplicity has a great thing where you can change the sleeves on different tops to fit whatever you're wanting. Love that. That is wonderful, especially when you have somebody who likes to hack their patterns. Okay, so it's a great way to start. So I used the McCalls pattern and the Simplicity pattern, and I meshed it into one beautiful item. I also hacked it a little bit because I wanted that scallop kind of look. So I actually stretched the fabric and I did a zigzag stitch so that I was able to get more of a kind of a scalloping at the top. Okay, so that's also something that I did. It does not call for that in the pattern. Okay, so that is the shirt that I'm wearing. The jeans that I'm wearing is from Fashion Nova. I always get my jeans from Fashion Nova because they are always, you know, first of all, they're a good price. Let's be very clear. I've never had any problems with Fashion Nova. They don't fall apart on me or anything like that, but they always have enough stretch so that I can get into it. Because, you know, a girl got a little bit of hips, so I need something that's stretchy enough to be able to get into. My glasses I'm wearing are from Zenni. So these are my glasses. If you have not heard about Zenni, Zenni is a perfect way to get some eyewear at an affordable price. We do not go down to the eye doctor and spend those exorbitant prices, $200-300 for a pair of glasses. No, ma'am, not over here. Over here we pay about $20 and get a pair of prescription eyeglasses. So Zenni is where I got my glasses from. I got my earrings. I think I got my earrings from, it was in a pack. I believe it was Forever 21, different size hoops or something like that. I have on my Brighton bracelet, my iPhone, my Apple Watch, and then I had on, the shoes that I have on are my chunky lug booties from Sam Edelman, and I got those at Macy's. And I also have on my Gucci belt. So those are my outfits. I actually am carrying also my MCM bag. So those are everything that I have, and I will link anything that is available below. I love that bag, that MCM Milla Bag. I actually have another video about reviewing that bag. Love it, because it is just chef's kiss. I love that bag. So if you are interested in that, I actually left that review below. All right. So now let's get back into pattern hacking. So again, let's go back to this top because on that simplicity pattern that I was mentioning before, the 8506, there's different sleeve. Do not ever feel like when you make a pattern, you have to stick just to what you are making exactly as the way that it's made. Now, keep in mind, I am not saying not to follow the instructions. No, ma'am, not at all. Because we don't want you to have like three sleeves or nowhere to put your hand in. Nothing like that. But for beginner sewers, once you get to a point where you feel comfortable enough to change up things here and there, I say make things your own. Delve into that inner fashion designer of yourself. What I do a lot of times is I will look at something that someone has on. I look in fashion magazines. I actually did some classes for fashion designing. So I've always looked at pieces, parts of clothing, and if it's something that you like, or if there's something about an item that you like, why don't you take that and maybe put it into another item? Okay, you can always take two different patterns, make them as one. Sleeves is an excellent way to hack a shirt, okay, because it's a very simple thing. Sleeves are going to be attached, and you don't have to attach the sleeve that's included. You can always change out the sleeves, okay? You can change out maybe like a neckband, or even the color pattern. You don't have to do it all in one fabric. So let me show you something that I'm talking about where you don't have to do everything all in the same pattern. All in the same fabric, sorry. Okay, so anybody who has watched me before had told, if you have watched my fails video, I talked about Simplicity 1499, this vest pattern. I tried to make this before in a rabbit fur. It was a horrible disaster, okay? And so I had said, I'm not making no more vests. I'm done with that. I only got that pattern to make this fur vest. But then I thought about it. I was like, you know what? Maybe I can make some kind of a vest. I don't care. We'll try our hand at it. So I actually had got this fabric from a thrift store. It was like a yard of fabric, and I loved it. And it was kind of like a you know, that quilted kind of a fabric. Okay, so I took that quilted fabric and I actually made a vest. So here you see I used that quilted fabric for the vest, but I also used like a kind of a lush fleece material. So instead of doing it all in one fabric, I actually changed it up, because the way the pattern is, there's different pieces. There's the back piece, which is on the fold, and then there is the back side, the front side, and then the front pieces. So you don't have to put it all in one fabric. You can break it up and do it however you want to. You want to make this like denim, you want to make this like leather, you want to make this leather and put some other kind of a stretchy on the side, you can do that. It is your pattern. Make it the way that it fits you. Put your own creativity into it. Put a little spin on it. That is a fun way to keep your sojo up and to keep you feeling like your creative juices flowing. Again, you want to make sure you're following the pattern instructions, but when it gets to certain parts, you may want to be able to change it up a little bit. So as you can see here, I'm showing the vest the way that I had changed it up. Now, I also used some of that quilted fabric and I used it for making a skirt as well. So I used pattern McCalls M7983. That was this one here that had the pencil skirt. There's a short version and a long version. I actually made it between these two sizes, okay, because I wanted it kind of a midi length. This one was a little bit too long. I just feel like when it cuts here at the calf is almost like the biggest part of your leg. And so when it cuts there on me, it just makes my legs look just heavier than they are, okay? So I actually did it just a little bit below the knee is the length of the skirt, because this one, I have really long legs. C was a little bit shorter. So the way that I did it, kind of in between, cut right under the knee, and I love it. It's a wonderful length for me. So I actually used the same fabric, so part of that fabric, that brown quilted fabric that I had, and on the front I used it for the front of the skirt, and then on the back of the skirt I actually had some green like ponte knit stretched fabric that I used so that on the back area, because again my hips, my bottom needs that stretchy fabric. So that's what I did. I just used 2 different fabrics on each side. Again, be creative, do whatever feels right to you. Do something, if you see something, put it together in a fabric and pattern that will fit your needs. So that's a slight kind of a hack that you can do that doesn't involve doing anything like this where you're changing out the whole sleeve, or pants where you're changing out the whole waistband. It's a nice hack that you can do when you're like beginner friendly or advanced beginner, at that point when you've learned the basics and you're able to choose different fabrics so that you can put something together. And that's also a way to be really creative with it. Another good pattern hack that you can do is something that I did with the Simplicity S8982 pattern. So I know a lot of you guys remember this. This is my very, very, very favorite pattern. I reference it all the time. I did a whole capsule wardrobe video about that and everything. So that one, that the dress A, is one that I did, and I had showed this before, and it's in this green ribbed knit fabric. Okay, so as you can see in the back, what I did is I did a little bit of ruching at the back. It does not call for this in the pattern. It calls for a straight seam in the back. Okay, but the ruching that I did is just elastic. It's just taking elastic, stretching it on the line of the seam, and it makes a ruching. You can do it in the front. I mean, you can do it in the back. I'm also making another one where I'm doing it on the sides. You can do it on the side. You can do it wherever there's a seam. It's an easy hack. Think of things like that where it's very, very simple. You've already made the item, and then just something as easy as just putting on some elastic on the seam will make a world of difference. It gives it a little bit of something. So that's another easy hack that you may want to try as well. Another hack that I did was from McCalls M8029. So I know you guys remember this one. I made that beautiful white coat. So with the white wrap jacket that I did, I actually had changed the fur, the fur line trim that I did on the hood. It was not something that was on the jacket originally. That's something that I did. So that's a hack. Adding something like fur, changing up the pockets or something. If something doesn't have pockets, adding pockets, things like that. So I did add that fur, and I actually made it again for a friend of mine, and this one here is a black one. But what I did in the front, instead of having that lapel like the other one, I actually didn't even attach it, and it became like kind of like a scarf. So as you can see, there's the hood, put the fur on there, and I actually made that front facing into just like a scarf. So now it has a scarf built in. This is something that I'm doing. I actually make these now, and I have actually made it for friends and sold it to them because they love it so much. But yes, this is something that you can do. You can hack something, make it your own. And yeah, the scarf fur thing on the wrap jacket is kind of like, a thing that I do now for that jacket, and I've actually made it for a couple of different people. So things like that is very simple. Maybe, reading the instructions, maybe you look at something before you do the next step and you're like, I don't know if I really need to do that. I actually like it this way. You can make it the way that you like it and that suits you. And that's what ended up happening here with the scarf, because I actually liked it without attaching the facing. I thought it looked better, and I was like, I think I actually want it as a scarf, and it actually worked to my benefit. One of the last hacks that I did that I'm going to mention today is from Simplicity S9398, and I think I showed this before. I actually had used I had used E and D, and I kind of meshed it together, did a couple of extra things that on it that I thought was appropriate for the bag, and kind of made my own makeup bags. So that's another thing that I make, and I've made these for, you know, friends, different friends. Do it in different kinds of fabrics. I have like this one in a faux leather and then in a cotton. Okay, so it did not call for this flap. It actually, the flap and the zipper pocket is something, this is a non-working flap, it's just for decoration. But the actual closure is the zipper. So this one, I changed it so much. It's kind of like, almost like it's not like that at all. So one of the things about hacking is when you do something and you do it from your creativity, from your imagination, you put things together and you kind of make it your own. And it's totally different than what you originally started doing, but you did it and you love it. And that's what happened with my makeup bag. I actually came up with it from just, it kind of almost was a little bit of a mistake, and I did it and I was like, I actually like this better. So this is my thing. Again, I made this for people. I've actually made them one and sold it to them. So I have been able to do that with a lot of my items. So for February, that kind of puts me into what my plans here for February are. I actually am starting to do pop-up shops and things like that, because I've taken some of my items that I've made, that I've kind of made into my own, and I'm actually displaying them. So that is what I'm working on. I'm working on more of my makeup bags. I'm working on more of my tops and my jackets and things like that. So I'm really excited about that. That's what I have going on. So I've been really busy doing a lot of those sewings. But so that's kind of why I didn't have like what I've made kind of any kind of content like that, because I have been working so hard making those. And I also have my graphic tees that I make as well, as you see here. So I'm going to be doing those as well there's a Black History event that I'm going to be doing. So that is my plans. That's what I have going on. But yes, pattern hacking is the best way to get your creative juices flowing. And I encourage everyone, if you can, start something small. Like I said, maybe elastic on a seam, maybe different kinds of fabrics. Color blocking is a great way to start that. And then from there, start changing out things that as you get more. Take a couple of things from 2 different patterns, put it together, and that's what pattern hacking is all about. So I hope that this was informative. I hope that you enjoyed this video. It was a little bit different. I wanted to be, give a little bit of information today about how things are, because I know I talk about pattern hacking all the time. People are probably like, some people are like, what is that? What do you do? So I just wanted to kind of give that information, but hope that you like this. Again, I will see you guys next time. Thank you for joining me.